Tashidelek everyone, I am your Tibetan tour guide, Pema. Today's video specifically explains the tour guide to Tibet in July and August. If you are preparing to go to Tibet at this time, collect this video. I once heard a blogger say that you can go anywhere without making a guide. But when you come to Tibet, you must have good travel guide. When many people hear this, their first reaction is that traveling in Tibet is breathtaking. But in fact, it's because Tibet is vast. Many scenic spots are relatively seasonal. Many people here from Tibet is nothing more than blue sky and white clouds, snow-capped mountains and grasslands. But many of these can only be found in the right season and with the right weather. This is why so many people say after visiting Tibet that it is completely different from the pictures they saw, or that the price in the video is very cheap. But after coming, they find that they spend several times more than they budgeted for, and they feel the trip has let them down. However, July and August are the peak seasons. If you don't reserve tickets for the Buddha Palace 10 days in advance, you won't be able to get an appointment at all. You can only buy scooper tickets at high prices. And one thing that is easy to overlook is that when traveling to Plateau, oxygen must be included in your budget. If this is your first time in Tibet and you choose to go to Ningqin, you can basically ignore the risk of altitude sickness, because no is the reason when the vegetation in Ningqin is the lowest and oxygen content is the highest. If you go to Mount Everest, the average price of a small tank of potable oxygen like this is 13 RMB, and a large tank is around 600. If you prepare this before heading to EBC, you can save some money. In this video, I will explain everything clearly to you about travel time, where to go, and the basic necessities, food, housing, and transportation you will need to after arriving. Tourists who plan to come to Tibet must save it. First, travel time. From June to September every year is Tibetan's peak tourist season and most comfortable traveling season. If you don't want to be crowded, you can choose to travel Tibet in winter, and there is a free ticket policy. Second, winter road to choose. If you're short on time, you can reserve 2 days in Lhasa and then choose 1 day to Yamdo Lake and 1 day to Namzo Lake. The market prices of these two tours are transparent. Just choose the popular one if it is your first time to visit Tibet. You can choose to go to Ningqin for about 7 days. The average cost per person is about 4,000, including the cost of food, accommodation, and transportation. If you have 10 days and are willing to take a tough journey, you can take the 10 days Ningqin to Mount Everest log route, which costs about 7,000 per person for food, accommodation, and transportation, and also checks into scenic spots such as Namso. For your second trip to Tibet, you can take the Nari route. It takes 8 days to prepare for Nari Falls route, and 13 days for the North route. However, no matter which route you take, it will be rushed as long as you join a group tour. Most of the time is in the car because the distance between Tibetan scenic spots is hundreds of kilometers. If you don't want to go through too much trouble, it's better to take leisurely for in Lhasa. Third, migrating food, clothing, housing, and transportation. What should you wear first? Tibetan is relatively dry here, and the ultraviolet rays are relatively strong. So sun protection hats, sunless covers, and sunglasses are indispensable. If you are driving by car, you should also wear cooling arm service. Since the temperature difference between morning and evening is large all year around, you should also wear a jacket in summer, but there's no need to add fleece. Second, migrating food. You can prepare some snacks and water on the way. There are most Tibetan restaurants and Sichuan restaurants throughout the journey. They're not so friendly to those with a light tastes. You can prepare some of your favorite snacks in case of emergencies. The third point is accommodation. As long as you're not staying in a high-end customized hotel where you can view the sun casting golden lights on mountains. Most of the prices are acceptable only in the Everest and neighboring regions. The accommodation conditions will be a little bit worse. After all, you will not be prone to altitude sickness if you sleep well when traveling on the plane too. There are also some oxygen supplement hotels, which may be more expensive. Fourth, ride-rating transportation. Most of the people traveling to Tibet need transportation in addition to accommodation. You will find yourself on the road most of the time. So it's recommended to take the train as early as possible and then choose to fly back. The best solution is fly to Xining and then take the train to Lhasa. Otherwise, taking a hard seat from other areas for dozens of hours is unbearable. No matter what you do, you can save on transportation costs when you come to Tibet. Finally, I would like to tell my friends who are traveling to Tibet not to hold higher expectations before coming. Some scenery is really beautiful, but some are favorite. The most important thing is the weather. I hope you can come and return with happy mood. Finally, I would like to emphasize that at present, foreign tourists traveling to Tibet must travel with an agency. Our travel agency is qualified to receive foreigner guests and has very popular routes. You're welcome to consult us.
Tashidelek and Pema Tibetan Horizon is a local Tibetan travel agency specializing in global tourists within Xizang, China. And if you want to travel to Tibet, please contact me via WhatsApp 8613194890858 or email guide@tibetantourism.com.